Go to the second quarter here. Washington up 9-3. Kyle Allen trying to break things open here. Deep shot. Terry McLaurin. 52-yard touchdown. Cowboys defense coordinator Mike Nolan watching McLaurin go for 7 catches, 90 yards, and that touchdown for a 15-3 football team lead. Pressure all day on Andy Dalton. This time it's Cole Holcomb rather with the sack. Cowboys forced the punt. Dalton frustrated on the sideline with his offensive line. Next Washington drive, a 3rd and 1 here. Kyle Allen. It's Logan Thomas on National Tight End Day. You heard that before? Washington up 22-3. Cowboys have trailed by at least 14 points in 6 straight games for the first time since 1961. This wouldn't help. Cole Holcomb picks off Andy Dalton at the 5. Cowboys outgained 252-108 in the first half. Third quarter, same score. Same story here. Andy Dalton pressure, having to run out of the end zone, sliding, but check out John Bostic. Brutal. Helmet-to-helmet hit. Knocks Andy Dalton out of the game with a concussion. Bostic, for the hit, ejected. His day done as well. In would come Ben DiNucci, the 7th-round pick from James Madison. Couldn't do much. Cowboys fall to 2-5 with a 25-3 loss at the hands of their NFC East rival Washington football team. We're now in 2nd place in the division. Everybody looking up at the Eagles at 2-4-1. First time each team has fewer than 3 wins in a division through week 7 in NFL history. Troubling times in the NFC East. Not so much for the Packers, though. They did suffer their first loss in week 6 against the Bucs, but Aaron Rodgers pretty good the last 3 seasons, coming off a loss, 5-0 in fact. 17 passing touchdowns and just 1 interception following a loss. That trend would continue today against Houston. Finding Davante Adams early, Packers up 7-0. They have scored on the opening drive every game this season. Later in the first, same score here. Packers facing a 3rd and 9. Aaron Rodgers to Davante Adams. This duo was unstoppable from Houston today. 28-yard catch here for Adams. Terrific grab with Vernon Hargreaves providing some resistance. Rodgers. Oh, fist bump. Second quarter, same drive here, 2nd and 2. Aaron Rodgers. Why not go back to Davante Adams? This time for 36 yards. That would lead to a 3-yard Jay Sternberger touchdown. Adams, 8 catches, 114, and a touchdown all in the first half. Mike Silver coming up here in just a moment with more perspective on the monster day from Davante Adams and the Packers. This is Aaron Rodgers from Malik Taylor, 1-yard touchdown. The undrafted free agent from Ferris State in 2019 with the first touchdown of his career. As we go to the 3rd quarter, Deshaun Watson, 4 straight games with 100-plus passer rating, despite the Texans' 1-5 record. Watson here, rolling to his left, trying to lead a comeback. First points of the day go to David Johnson for Houston. Texans down 21-7. Watson, 309, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. 84 total yards for David Johnson and that touchdown on the day. 3rd quarter. Packers, though, trying to put it out of reach. 3rd and 4 from Houston territory. Rodgers, why not? Back to Davante Adams. Terrific body control. Turning around for the catch, and then 45-yard score. Packers lead 28-7. They go on to win it 35-20. 16 targets, 13 receptions for Adams. Career high, 196 yards and 2 touchdowns. Packers bounce back. They're now 5-1. And as promised, Michael Silver here with us to provide some Packers perspective here. Mike, they bounced back after their first loss of the season last week against Tampa Bay. How'd they do it so quickly here against Houston this week?
Well, Red, I talked to Davante Adams after the game, and he said, I definitely saw a big one coming. They were embarrassed by the way they played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the previous week and suffering their first loss. He said, we didn't execute, and we didn't have the best plan. You put those two together, it's a recipe for disaster. This time we had a great plan, and my mentality and Aaron's mentality was that we owed it to ourselves to go big.
Some of the ridiculous numbers in this game for Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams. I loved this one. Davante Adams accounted for all 7 of the Packers' 3rd down conversions in this game. Every time they converted a 3rd down, he caught it. Was this a symptom or description of the seeing it as one thing, Mike, but stopping it is a whole different thing?
That's basically what he said. He said, yeah, they probably did know that I was the first option on most of those plays, but knowing it and stopping it, 2 different stories. And he also talked about being in year 2 of Matt LaFleur's offense. He said everybody knows how they fit in, and you don't have to think so much. We can play fast and free. And when Adams was out a few games, you saw some of those other weapons start to develop in Matt LaFleur's offense, which bodes well for the future.
Yeah, no question. Meanwhile, perhaps a bit murky of a future in New York after the Jets fall to 0-7 here. Adam Gase's squad losing to the Bills today on 6 Buffalo field goals. How does he feel? How does Adam Gase feel about his job? I know you were able to talk to him.
Yeah, I mean, he gets it. You know, they're now 0-7, and he's in New York. So certainly no guarantee that he would be the coach after this season or even after Week 9, which is headed into the bye week. And he just said, look, I'm taking all the bullets and just trying to find a solution. Today, he gave up play calling to offensive coordinator Dowell Loggins, something he said he's broached with Loggins in the past. He's not sure if he's going to do that going forward, but just trying to shake it up.
And staring them down in Week 8, date with the Kansas City Chiefs, who got a win today over the Broncos. But more on Adam Gase here. Does he feel at all like he's losing this team?
Actually, no. He told me he's been really, really proud of the effort. And after today's loss to the Bills, when they had the 10-0 lead and had a chance at least to tie it at the end, he said, thought our guys played their butts off. And he just said, look, I'm trying to keep players from getting frustrated and falling prey to the negativity. He said, when people tell you you suck enough, you can start to believe it. That's the battle he's facing right now.
Jets still looking for win number 1 on the season. Okay, let's move to National Tight End Day. A bit more happier tone here. Happy National Tight End Day to you, Mike Silver. Of course, thank you to George Kittle for starting this whole movement for us, right? 49ers feeling good about their win over the Patriots today. How much fun did George Kittle have today?
A lot. I asked him, how do you celebrate National Tight End Day? And he said, quote, you block a ton of people, occasionally catch the ball, and when someone scores, you do a lot of spiking. And tight ends all over the league were going off. But in New England, you got to hand it to Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo was coming back to Gillette Stadium, big national story. And before the game, Jimmy Garoppolo in warm-ups went around reminding his teammates, you know, it's National Tight End Day. It's a holiday. And Kittle told him, that's right, Jimmy. It's not about you. Don't steal our glory.
How the 49ers got it done over the Patriots, why it was about more than just National Tight End Day. That's the name of the game on the Aftermath, isn't it, Mike Silver? The how and the why. I appreciate your insight here for us on Game Day Final. Can't wait to be back with you on the Aftermath tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time. We got 3 hours ready to break down not just what happened on this Sunday, but how and why it all went down. All right, back to the highlights we go. Mentioned the Kansas City Chiefs, the Jets' next opponent. Staring them in the face today, the Denver Broncos from a snowy Denver, and Le'Veon Bell's first game as a Chief. But boy, did Kansas City play some complimentary football on this day. All 3 phases were rolling. Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting it going here first with the rushing touchdown, breaking about 4 tackles on the way, that's all. And on defense, Steve Spagnuolo had to love what he was seeing here. How about Daniel Sorensen reading Drew Lock, stepping in front of that pass and taking it back to the house. Pick 6 for Sorensen. 50 yards all the way back. Chiefs up 17-6. And then special teams. Why not? A couple of yards deep in the end zone. Byron Pringle says no problem. Check out the speed. Couple of moves, and he will beat Brandon McManus to the house, and the rest of the Broncos for that matter. 102 yards later, it is a kickoff return for a touchdown. First team to score a TD on offense, defense, and special teams in a single game this season. Chiefs, big winners, 43-16. All right, what a game we had in the Sunday night finale here in Week 7. Kyler Murray watching Russell Wilson with just a minute to go in overtime. After a DK Metcalf touchdown was called back, Russell Wilson on the next play picked off by the Cardinals rookie linebacker Isaiah Simmons. 3rd interception of the day for Russell Wilson, so the Cardinals, could they take advantage? Zane Gonzalez, 48-yard field goal for the win. Yes. Cardinals move to 5-2, knocking the Seahawks from the ranks of the unbeaten. Cliff Kingsbury sweated it out, but his Cardinals get the victory.
Yeah, they have a lot on us, I would say. But it's a division win, and that's how we're viewing it. To come home and hold court here at home was big. That team was undefeated and playing really at a high level, and sort of takes the 2-0 in our division at the bye week where we can rest and heal up was, it's a good point for us moving forward.
These are the games you honestly, dream about. Growing up, watching Sunday Night Football, last week playing on Monday, these are the games that you want to be a part of. And to be a part of these games, you got to win, you got to keep winning.